Our first speaker didn't wait for an invitation to the table. She was there before the first course, fiercely advocating for the freedom to marry on television, in print, and on the web. She bridges the sometimes cavernous ideological gap between progressive and conservative allies. She appeals to the pragmatism of the millennial generation. She believes constitutionally guaranteed rights ought to transcend left versus right and Democrat versus Republican, and she does so with savvy, skill, and style. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome CNN political contributor, best-selling author, and chair of the Young Conservatives for Freedom to Marry, Margaret Hoover.
Thank you, Cynthia. Cynthia, to me, is one of these people for whom I have sort of an inappropriate level of familiarity. You know that feeling you have towards actors who have played these iconic characters so believably that it's our instinct to greet them as though they are our friends. But the truth is we also know Cynthia because she is an outspoken advocate, an ambassador, really, for many issues that are close to our hearts, not the least of which are public schools and, of course, the freedom to marry. So I mean it sincerely when I say, thank you, Cynthia. It is an honor to be here with you. And it's an honor to be here with all of you tonight. I should probably make a joke here about how incredibly attractive this crowd is. And really the joke would be about how much more attractive you are than your white octogenarian heterosexual conservative counterparts with whom I usually speak. I'll tell you just privately, I was at my support group yesterday. It's the young straight Republican women that believe individual freedoms are important conservative values anonymous. No, really, it's true. It's a great group. We meet every Sunday at my house. There's plenty of room. It's not very big. The house or the group. Sort of reminds me of in college, I was helped found this college Republicans club at my left-wing liberal arts college, Bryn Mawr. But anyway, we're getting bigger every day. I was relaying to the group that I was quite honored to be invited to speak here with all of you tonight and to speak to the extraordinary work of Freedom to Marry, and specifically about my friend Evan Wolfson. Now, it's not every day that you get asked to introduce and really to even brag about someone for whom there are truly not enough accolades. The Godfather of gay marriage, the choreographer of gay marriage, the wizard of gay marriage. Yep, it's all true. For me, though, my approach is a bit less Gandalf and a bit more Abe Lincoln. The freedom to marry the person that you love, to me, is about fundamental fairness. And as a conservative, it makes a lot of sense to me. Now, I'm not a social conservative. I like to make that distinction. I'm this brand of conservative that believes and emphasizes individual liberty and economic freedom and equal opportunity. And I believe that people make better decisions for themselves than a government can make for them. And I believe that the strength of any vibrant society is best measured in the strength of the commitments individuals make to one another, most especially the commitment codified by marriage. And to an economic conservative, marriage provides its own social safety net. And in times of hardship, families swoop in to offer love and support and stability, which is far superior than any support a government could provide. So I believe in equal opportunity. And as a married person, this also means I believe that everyone should have the opportunity and the equal chance to commit him or herself in life, for life, to the person that they love, and for our families and our communities and for our country to understand the specialness of that commitment, as connoted by the word marriage, is the most fundamental voluntary relationship our culture recognizes. More than 30 years ago, Evan began making these arguments. And he wrote in his thesis, as we heard, at Harvard Law School in 1983 that gay people should be able to marry. And it was so bold that he had a high degree of difficulty finding a thesis advisor. Even more bold is that he then took that vision, turned it into a strategy, and has driven that vision and that strategy every single day for the last 30 years. He willed that strategy and that vision into reality. 20 years ago, he was co-counsel in the first ever trial on the freedom to marry in Hawaii, and he won. That win began convincing a nation and a world that the vision wasn't just a dream, but it could actually happen. Evan then wrote the definitive book on the cause, Why Marriage Matters, America, Equality, and Gay People's Right to Marry. In 2003, before there were any states, none, 0 states that had marriage, he finds freedom to marry. And since then, freedom to marry has driven that strategy to win marriage. Now, I've worked very closely with Evan and Mark Solomon and the entire family at Freedom to Marry, and they are truly a family. And I can tell you that this is an extraordinarily strategic, smart, relentless organization that, above all, knows how to win. Where we are today, 17 states, 59% public support, the gutting of DOMA, cases racing to the Supreme Court, is in large part because of the dedication and the skilled work of the folks at Freedom to Marry. A friend, Andrew Sullivan, has called Evan the indispensable man in bringing marriage equality to America. Time magazine has deemed Evan one of the 100 most influential people in the world. And for those of you who haven't been in Evan's office, he has a saying framed on the wall. It's Mahatma Gandhi, and it says, "First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight with you, and then you win." Evan, no one's laughing anymore. All that's left is the fight. And I know that with the support of all of these incredibly attractive people in this room, you and Freedom to Marry will lead us to victory.